And then I've got the AK-47 bayonet.
All right, and let me double check to make sure that that's even on.
Oh, that's better. Oh, that's much. Oh man, that actually air conditioned my melon. we need Breaking 2, the Electric Boogaloo playing in the background. There we go. Just got the notification.
So did I. Look at that. Okay, well then I guess we're live.
All right.
Okay, so hey guys, I'm trying something new here. Greg,
Thomas Paine, the great Thomas Paine.
Thomas Paine there talked to me about this StreamYard, and so I'm giving that a shot. But all right, I wanted to talk about the Proud Boys today because I'm there we go. Now I got some chats and stuff. Yes, Counselor Grisham and Thomas Fropane.
It's a little dry. I need to go get some activator. I've got a 2-for-1 coupon, but I just have to find a store that honors expired coupons.
Yeah, so I bought this.
I've got the Death to Commies shirt, so you know.
Rock of the yeah, we got Grisham Paine live, and I got this new microphone, but apparently I don't have any way to connect it onto the little bar, so I've got it in a blue cup.
Nice, dude. Get a nice little reverb there.
Yeah, I need to get a stand for it or something. But anyway, yeah. So a lot has been happening. I thought it'd be fun to bring you on and talk about a few things. One of which is the Proud Boys, because the Proud Boys has been in the media a lot, especially since what happened at the debates where Trump was told to denounce the Proud Boys. Now you've been in a little bit longer than I have. I think I'm about to hit 2 years or something.
Yeah.
So let's just start with what the Proud Boys is at its base, because I don't think a lot of people understand it.
Well, when Proud Boys started, I won't go into, if people want to find out how Proud Boys were started, they can go research that and why Gavin, who Gavin is and stuff like that. So I'll skip all that stuff. But Proud Boys were started mainly to get guys off the couch and interacting with guys, because we all know pretty much everybody who's going to join this chat and this stream agrees that feminism in 2020 is a cancer. It's think feminism way, or you're just absolutely wrong. Just like Mazie Hirono said, just sit down and shut up. And that's the reason why it was started, was to get guys off the couch, get guys from in front of the computer watching porn all day and interacting with other guys, and get out and talking to girls, actually interacting with people, get out of that caveman mentality. So, if that meant finding a Proud Boy chapter that went to a bar and grill and met up for once a month and just socialized with each other, then that's what they do. Fortunately, our chapter, we meet up more than once a month. We'll do formal meets and we'll do informal meets, and we'll get together whenever. Like, for instance, we went and picked up a guy the other night from the airport that flew in from Saudi Arabia. He's been doing contracting work for over 4 years. And
wait, that wasn't the same guy that just stabbed a bunch of people in France, was it?
Well, I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Okay, so just making sure.
I can't. I need to clean this. Thank you for reminding me. I need to clean that off. So, yeah, it's amazing how France locks down for a knife.
Yes.
The United States doesn't lock down for bombs. France locks down for a toothpick.
No, we only lock down for viruses with a 99% recovery rate.
Right.
And during an election year, of course.
Well, we have to, because what Biden say, we should have shut down the whole country, but yet he's kind of like John Kerry. I was for it before I was against it. The hypocritical nature of politics nowadays is just, I don't even try to figure out anymore. So I just make fun of both sides. But so it's getting guys out, interacting with one another, and it's getting that brotherhood, that fraternity-like feeling. And if guys have never, okay, so I feel sorry for guys who, one, were never in the military, or two, never played organized sports. If guys never played organized sports, you're in for a really good time if you try to reach out to Proud Boys and you get invited to a meetup, because we we know how to have fun. When we show up to events,
Yes.
Even Antifa has fun when we show up, because we hug you, we kiss you, and we refuse to not have a good time.
I think Antifa has more fun when we show up.
Well, they do. They have so much fun. They accuse us of assaulting them because they have too much fun. They don't know how to handle it.
Right.
Even when we don't touch them, if we just look at them funny, they accuse us of assault. And okay, that's fine. Even when cops are there and they laugh at them.
And you know, that's the thing. We've gotten so far in society where it's bad to be a man. You can't be a man because masculinity is toxic, and the patriarchy must die. And the Proud Boys is a great play. You know, and I can't remember if you said this, but I mean, essentially, it's a men's drinking club.
Right.
But you don't necessarily have to drink. I don't drink.
No.
And
Right.
and I'm a Proud Boy. I like going there and just hanging out with the boys and just, you know, telling fart jokes and just, you know, punching each other and just goofing around and being men, you know, manly men. And
That's right.
and I think women should be able to go and do womanly things. You know, this idea that men and women have to be equal when we each have our positives and negatives, and we each have our strengths and our weaknesses. It's the Proud Boys is a way for men to be men without having to worry about getting judged for it. You know,
Yeah.
You can sit there and fart, and the next guy will try to outdo your fart in tone and length. So
For sure.
yeah, and just telling raucous
he'll
jokes.
criticize you for it. He'll criticize you for it for being so weak.
Right. If you got a little, you know, that's
Yeah.
going to get you thrown out probably.
Yeah. Are you sure you were born a man? You know, you'll get that probably.
Or if it's like really deep, you have to start asking him, you know, what have you been putting up there that air's getting out so quickly?
Right. So it's like my wife says, when's the next meetup? You know, it's been a little while. You need to get out with the guys more often. I'm like, we just had a meetup last week. You know? Like,
She just wants to get rid of you.
Yeah, right. She wants to have girl time. So it's a you know, a good woman understands that men need to be around men sometimes.
Right.
You know, she's got her woman time, and she's got her time to be. We got our time to be around each other, but she understands the value of it. That guys have to be around guys. We can't be around our wives 24/7, because if you're around someone too much, man, you get sick and tired of them.
Well, and so, you know, in the chat, oh, it's a boys' club, I'll let you be. No, don't let us be, because here's the great thing. This is also the great thing about the Proud Boys, is one of our tenets is to venerate the modern housewife. Explain that.
Well, venerating the modern housewife. So my wife spent 23 years in corporate America, if you will. So she has done that gig. She's got the t-shirt, got the ring, you know, got all the degrees, if you will. She chooses right now to stay at home and be the modern housewife. I venerate her by putting her on that pedestal that she chooses to be on. I support her fully 100%. Tomorrow, if she chooses to go back into corporate America, I support her 100%. No matter what she wants to do, I support her 100%. Just as she supports me in what I want to do. She backs me 100% and backs the family 100%. It's about having each other's backs. It's kind of like in the Proud Boys, if you will. It's kind of a marriage. I will never call my wife out in public and shame her in public. Now, I'll have her back in public, whether she's right or wrong. When we get home, we'll discuss it. It's the same way with the Proud Boys. I will have your back in public. When we get back, if you're wrong, we're gonna talk about it, and we'll work on ways to fix it. That's the beauty of a relationship. And it doesn't have to be man and woman. It can be a brotherly friendship, kind of like when we were in the military. You just had that band of brothers type of thing, and you've also got that with a marriage band. It's really hard. What does Texas A&M say? You can't understand it looking outside in. You can't describe it from the inside out. It's just one of those things. It's really hard to describe, but not everybody will understand it when they come in. Not everybody who applies applies to the Syntax chapter makes it through vetting. Not everybody gets into our chat likes what we have to say with our crude off-color jokes. Not everybody likes it, and that's okay. That's the beauty of it. We don't want everybody.
And that's the great thing too. You talked about off-color jokes, and I thought it was really funny when Joe Biden called us the poor boys, and it's funny because the left started just they thought it was the greatest thing. Oh my gosh, look, he's making fun of the Proud Boys. Oh, they're gonna hate this. I'm telling you, within minutes, the poor boys memes were out of control.
It was POOR.
Yeah,
mean, it was taken so far. It's kind of like Antifa when they went and co-opted the hashtag Proud Boys with the rainbow flag and guys kissing. Well, all we did was we one-upped it and said that you guys need to up your skills on kissing, because we obviously have you beat in that game too with your bisexuals and your gays, because we kiss way better. We make you can't beat us in the joke department, because we will one up you every time.
And I don't think that the left really gets that. And so when we come out and when I don't think they realize we kind of make fun of each other more than they can ever make fun of us.
And if they make fun of us really well, we actually go, man, that was a good one. That was pretty good. And they don't understand. They don't understand how to take compliments. They go, well, F you then. F you. It's kind of like when we go to the Capitol and walk up behind Antifa and they don't see us, and we put our arm around them and kiss them on the cheek and let them know, hey, the party can start because we're here. And they go, go to hell, you Nazi racist baby killer. And we just go, oh, that's us. We're here. So we don't try to refute it, because if you do, you're a dick. And if you agree with it, you're a dick anyway. So why even fight it? Just let them have their say, and they stay around for about 42 minutes and they pack all their shit and they leave. So you just have fun.
So speaking of Antifa, how does a men's drinking club go from a men's drinking club to kicking the ass of commies?
Well, you're at a bar, and said bar gets complaints that, how are you guys serving racist Nazi assholes? And the bar owner comes over and says, hey, you guys can't drink here anymore. Well, why? Because someone called and says you guys are racist Nazis and assholes. Well, we're not. Well, you guys got to leave anyway, because we've gotten 25 calls in the last hour. Well, where are they? Where are these complainants? Well, they called. Well, okay, well, let us finish our beer and then we'll leave. And then they leave. And then they get blackballed from the bar. The next week they try to come in, thinking it was just a one-time thing. Well, no, you guys can't come back in here because you're wearing these Fred Perry polos. Well, you can't come back in here. Okay, well, how about we don't wear those anymore? We want to come in and spend a gob of money with you guys and over tip you and just drink beer. We don't want to smash things. We don't want to break out your windows. We don't want to slash your tires. We just want to spend money and drink every drop of beer that's in your bar. We want to spend money. Capitalism. Well, we don't want it because you guys are racist Nazis. Well, where's your proof? Well, people called. Well, where's this proof? There's no proof. So they get all these calls, and what they do is they just wear people down is what it is. So what a lot of people have done, what a lot of employers have done, and I applaud them for this, they say, oh man, we didn't realize that we have such an asshole working here. Tell you what, why don't you come down and file the complaint, and then we'll take your complaint in person. Nobody ever shows up. Nothing happens. So that's what employers are starting to ask people to do now.
Yeah, good.
Because it's easy to stay behind a phone and stay behind a keyboard, but until you got to come out and do it in person, then their PTSD kicks in. Their PTSD from having to walk up a flight of stairs out of a basement.
Right. Well, yeah, there's that big bright ball in the sky that they haven't ever seen.
Yeah, Howie from Benchwarmers, he was afraid of the sun.
I think the reason that Antifa wears black is because underneath that, they're so white from always being in their basement. They need to absorb as much of that light as they can in order to get the appropriate amount of vitamin E until they're able to come out again.
Just dunk them in a vat of 200 SPF before they go out into the moon.
So now, and I know the Proud Boys, obviously, I mean, I'm a Proud Boy. So I'm just asking these questions because it's easier than just me talking about myself.
Right.
What are you looking for? What are we looking for when people want to join? Because ever since then, obviously, you've been inundated with, when that happened, how many emails did you get through your vetting?
So I've kept track. We've received 372 emails of interest since Trump said stand back and stand by. And it took about 30 seconds to probably kick in. I'm like, shit, shut up. Just both you knuckleheads, shut up, because it's going to get stupid. So there's only two guys that go through the vetting email and vetting application process. So 372 people emailed. We didn't send out that many applications. We don't just send out applications because that would be just pure hell, right? So we sent out less than 20 applications, and we decided to take less than 10 people to actually vet them.
Wow. Out of 370, you got down to 10.
So I think someone ran the numbers, and what it came out to was we accepted 1.5% that were actually vetting, 1.5% of people. And I feel bad, but it's not a little league baseball team. Everybody doesn't get to bat in this.
Did you only get 1.5% because it's really hard to find white supremacist Nazis in?
Well, only if they had the tattoo in between their eyes. Okay. They have to have that, and those are really hard to find. That's dedication right there.
Where does that come from, though? Because I've been in Proud Boys for almost 2 years now, and if we're a white supremacist organization, we're the dumbest white supremacist organization I've ever seen. And I'm wondering when we're going to break it to our non-white members that are helping us.
I've never met a white supremacist in the Proud Boys. I think I may have met a white supremacist in my life, and they're probably like doing like a jail visit or something like that, but they're pretty intimidating dudes. It says right in our vetting process, it says, fuck off if you're white nationalist, previous white nationalist, thinking about white nationalists, 1488, which if anybody knows, 1488 is the symbolism for Heil Hitler. It just says, fuck off. And if you're found to be this at any stage, from vetting all the way up to being admitted to the chapter or beyond, you're going to get the crap kicked out of you and shown the door. There's a zero tolerance policy on this. It's kind of like we say it so much. And Savannah Guthrie asked the president to denounce white supremacists, and he did it 16 times prior. And she said, well, it's just not good enough. Well, shut up, bitch. I said it I wanted to say that. I would have voted for him if he would have said, bitch, please go rewind the fucking tape. I said it 16 times. How many times do I have to say it? Because I have said it, and it's never enough. Even if I said it tonight, it's not going to be good enough tomorrow.
You know what Trump should have done is he should have had all this stuff on his smartphone. Like, you know how he did with the with Biden's remarks about fracking, and he put it all together in one video. He should have taken, and then pulls out his smartphone and goes, here, let me just remind you of the 16 times I've said this already.
You know what was great at that Savannah Guthrie thing is the black chick that was behind him the whole time was going,
yeah.
Yep. And she's shaking her head the whole time, and I'm like, oh man, that's awesome, man. That is so awesome. I'm not sure if early voting opened in Texas at that time, but I had already voted. And hey, just to piss everybody off in your audience, I didn't vote for Trump, and CJ knows why I didn't vote for Trump. He dug his ditch with me a long time ago with signing the National Defense Authorization Act and his whole Second Amendment fiasco. I just couldn't do it. It would have taken a whole lot to dig his way out of that. But I think the whole two-party system is a joke. I think it's a joke. So I focused on my local elections where my judges can fuck me where my judges can fuck me way harder and faster than a president can.
Let me tell you something. Having this thing's so heavy, I need two hands.
I thought you were going to bring up a cat just now.
No, having been in law school for a long, this is my constitutional law book. This thing's I'm going to cut a steak. It's about as big as my head.
That's like a dictionary I have from like 1891.
There is nothing when you realize how much power the Supreme Court has given to the federal government. and you realize how out of control the federal government is by reading all of this case law, by reading about all the different ways that the government can create laws, the federal government now, you start to realize, and I knew this before coming to law school, but it's really intensified, how it's not just the executive, and it's not just Congress, it's not just the presidency and all of his administrative things. It's the courts too, and the courts are enabling a lot of this. I mean, we had for this week we've been talking about when you realize, no, hey, my book isn't new. Look at all this highlighting in here. Well, you probably can't see it on there, but anyway. Oh, this book actually is new because I had to get a newer version. But anyway,
I like how you highlight too. You have the different color highlighting, and you gave me a new idea for the highlightings.
Yeah, the way I do it, yeah, I've got different colors for different things when I'm highlighting a case. But the bottom line is, and if people are pissed off that you didn't vote for Trump, they're probably going to be pissed off knowing that I didn't vote for anybody for president.
Yeah,
and
neither did
I'll tell you why. Because first of all, it's my vote. Right. It doesn't belong to anybody, and you have to earn my vote. And I don't think anybody on that ticket, Jorgensen, Trump, or Biden, none of them earned my vote this year. No. Now, it's first of all on gun control issues, on Fourth Amendment issues, on your limited duties as an executive. You know what your Article 2 duties are, going beyond that and thinking that you have more power than you do. And so I couldn't do it. You know, I sat there for the longest time because I had to do an absentee ballot because I'm out of state. So right. My vote, it doesn't matter anyway. It doesn't matter. Even if I did vote, my vote's not going to get counted because it's absentee. Right. And it's going to get undermined by one Democrat who sends in 5 votes.
Yeah.
But, you know, but you're right about the local stuff, because what I do is I'm so hyper focused on state level elections and down. I pay attention to that because the 10th Amendment can save us from the federal government. The problem is we need politicians or people in place that will invoke the 10th Amendment and understand the 10th Amendment. And
they have some balls to actually bring it up.
Right. And you know, Abbott, I won't vote for Abbott either. I really hope someone primaries him. But I will say that
that Prather guy,
Chad Prather, yeah,
he seems okay now. He's talking like you and I, you know, but he's kind of going a little East celeb. I don't know. I don't know.
He's still down to earth though. I mean, heck, when I message him, he messages me back. So
that's good.
I mean, I don't know if it's just because it's me and he wants to make fun of me. I don't know, but
maybe.
Oh, but I don't understand people who don't vote at all. If you're not going to vote, if you don't think the government works for you, then the place to vote is at the local level.
Yeah.
Because at the very least, you can go in there and, you know, you can do like we did, skip the president, because who cares about the president? Skip the Senate or the congressional members if you don't care about those. They don't care about you. There's 535 people up there.
Yep. And
all they care about is R and D. That's it. That's all they care about.
That's all they think that are up there anyway.
It's not about what's right for the people you serve. It's about what's right for getting Republicans and what's right for getting Democrats elected. But if you go down to the local elections, these are elections that are literally won sometimes by one vote.
Yeah,
one vote.
You get people that vote that local elections that there's only 500 votes in, and it's like, holy shit, man! You've got 250,000 in a county, and you get 500 votes. That, number one, it makes me embarrassed for the county. Number two, it would make me embarrassed as the person running. Like, I'll tell you, Henry Garza did not get, if there was only one candidate in that race, I did not vote for them unless I knew them personally. Henry Garza did not get my vote. John Gant did not get my vote. John Gant, you can eat a dick, because you're the one who put the gag order on Marvin Guy and the entire case and have that dude thrown in jail and been in jail for 6.5 years. Eat a dick, Gant, because that's you're a constitutional fucker is all you are.
And Jim Nichols isn't
Jim Nichols,
opposed, and
yeah. Anytime anyone has a fine to pay, just go pay it in Nichols for Jim Nichols.
Yeah, in Bell County anyway.
Yeah,
I was watching the Dan Crenshaw. There was a debate down in his district in Houston, and one of the great things about Dan Crenshaw's election is whoever was the media, or whoever handled the debate down there, actually had three candidates: the Republican, the Democrat, and the Libertarian.
Wow.
And were able to speak. Now, unfortunately, the Libertarian turned out to be just as much of a dumbass as the other two in that situation as well. I even contacted him because he's talking about what was it? He was talking about white supremacy and being a problem in Texas, and I responded to him and I said, there's not a white supremacy problem in this country or even in Texas. And he sends me a screenshot or a picture from Charlottesville.
Oh,
and
God.
I actually responded back to him. There are 300 million people in America. There were at most 200, but I'll tell you what, let's go with 500. Let's pretend there were 500 white supremacists in Charlottesville. That's
Right.
0.000000003% of the country. Now, that's 0.00002% of the state of North Carolina, and it's 0.04% of Charlottesville. And you're telling me we've got a problem? And by the way, I more than doubled the number of actual white supremacists that were there and got those numbers.
It's a matter of, so the Libertarians, like, people get on to me about Jo Jorgensen. Well, we need to get her to 5%. We need to get her 5% to get the national recognition. No, we don't. She's not a libertarian when she's advocating for censorship of someone's private Facebook page. She is not a libertarian. She's a Democrat chud is all she is. She is not a true libertarian. If someone asks her, well, what do you believe in? I don't. Unless it means deregulation and getting that law off the book, I don't believe in it. Just stop whoever's asking them. Just stop it, whatever it is. Well, do you believe in enforcing? No, I don't. Just stop. Just stop right there. I don't believe
Should the government? No, stop.
Right. The government should do
Should
nothing.
not. Yes.
Right. The government should give back all the money it's stolen from taxpayers since the enactment of the IRS. How about that?
And this is what when I ran for state office a few years ago, I was asked several questions often, like what if you were a representative, what would be the laws that would define you? And I said, well, I'm not going to be defined by what laws I pass. I'm going to be defined by what laws I get repealed.
Right.
Because that's the only reason I would go into Austin, is to literally go word for word through our entire criminal code and delete.
That's what sucks about losing someone like Jonathan Stickland, that we're going to have to rely more on someone like Briscoe Kane, and lean on him a lot more now.
Well, we're kind of into the elections. Let's talk about that a little bit. What do you think is going to happen here?
Well,
we've got 4 days.
I think Trump's going to hit the 300 electoral college vote mark. I think that's going to happen. So,
well, he had 316 last time.
Well, I thought it was 306.
306, 316. I say he's going to get at least 330. And if he doesn't, I'm sending nudes.
Did you say nudes or boobs?
Nudes.
Oh,
yeah,
nudes. Top or bottom?
Well, you have to wait and see how many Trump gets.
Are you going to tuck or are you going to flip?
I might tuck and flip.
Do action shots.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's a felony in Texas now, though. So make sure you just send them in Virginia.
Yeah, they don't have any rules up here. I'm in the mountains anyway.
If you send them from 3/4 a mile inside the mine, I think you're. I think that.
Now, I didn't say I was going to send my nudes.
No,
I'm sending Hunter Biden nudes.
Send them. I think if you're so many feet inside an old mine, I think that's like international waters. So I don't think Northam can. If he's going to bust you, he has to be in blackface first. So,
why are all of the crazy liberals that have issues with nude pictures called things like Anthony Weiner or Hunter Biden?
And why are they getting foot jobs from their nieces? What What is going on? And smoking crack.
And did she like scale off like the hard parts of her foot first, or?
Well, I don't know. Hunter Biden is let's back up. He got an OTH from the Navy for abusing cocaine. That's number one. He got a huge.
Well, he learned a lot from that, didn't he?
Man,
that really taught him a lesson.
I wanted. What college did he graduate from? Have you heard anybody mention that?
Oh, we got a comment here. You meant CJ, respond to my comment, and you can bitch later. Let's see what here it is. CJ, the presidential sealed outcome of the Edward Clown case is in the basement of the White House, sealed under glass. I have no idea what that is. The presidential sealed outcome? Oh, they're probably trying to say that the outcome of the presidential election is already right there underneath the White House. I guess they've already got it.
I think Alex Jones would call you.
I don't know. What's the Edward Clown case? Okay, did I miss something else up here? Have you looked up the? Oh, never mind. Have you looked up the Edward Clown versus the federal government case? The true Lakota bloodline of Crazy Horse. They won and confirmed our original Constitution stands. I have not. I have not.
Yeah, I have not heard about that either. I don't know anything about that.
Well, what drives me nuts, we've been learning, one of the things we've been talking about is whether the First Amendment applies to non-government entities. And this is where the frustration is generally no. The First Amendment does not apply to a private entity. It only applies to the federal government. And then through the 14th Amendment, it applies to the states. Right. But you read through all these cases, and depending on how the Supreme Court felt that day, sometimes it does apply.
That's
because you had a case where a whole bunch of landowners who owned a bunch of properties along this strip, all but like 6 properties along the strip, and they all signed a covenant. It's called a restrictive covenant, and what it was is from now on that property cannot be sold to anyone that's non-white. And so now these are private people, and what the court found was that that would have been, the First Amendment wouldn't have applied to that, or at least the Constitution. But because they sued to force this black person who had bought some property against the covenant, because they sued, they were now using the government. And because they were using the government can't enforce discrimination. So therefore, you have to let her stay. And then the very next case, it's a very similar type situation, but they find that, oh no, it doesn't apply to them. And you come away with that and I was asking the professor, I'm like, so how do we, if we've got a fact pattern like this, he's like, well, just argue however you want to argue it. Just make sure you got a good argument. Jeez. So that's law, man. That's the law.
It's really like you're fielding a new baseball team with every case.
The court is bipolar. That's why I got a shirt that I had made said it depends. So anybody that comes into my office, hey, can I? It depends.
So if the Huey P. Newton Gun Club, if they have certain rules that they only allow black members to join, and we try to join, but at one point in time they have used the federal government for some type of assistance, and we sue them, the federal government could come in and say, well, you have to let them join. You're discriminating against them, and you're continuing to use a piece of land for your range that is still 1% owned by the federal government, or still under some type of scrutiny or ownership by the federal government or by some type of government. Once the point I'm trying to make is, once you invite the government in, they never freaking leave.
Exactly. There's nothing more permanent than a temporary government program.
That's exactly right. And I love how people say, well, oh no, we're just gonna. So Joe Jorgensen, the prime example. Well, the reason why I'm saying I'm pro open borders is because we're gonna end welfare. Bitch, please, come on. You ain't ending welfare. Don't pull my leg. They're long enough already. Come on.
So I looked up Mighty Mouse girlfriend there. I just looked up Edward Clown v. US and on my Lexus Nexus, and nothing came up. So I don't know if you know what the case citation is for that. Let me try this. US v. Clown. Clown? Let's see. Nothing's coming up. Apparently, no one named Clown has been sued by the U.S. or sued the U.S. or
unless it's spelled a different way or something, or like a weird way.
But I can't find that case. It says no documents found.
Huh. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing too. Like the Proud Boys. One thing that brought me to liking the Proud Boys too is ending the drug war.
Yes.
I'll tell you. So I've never shot heroin, and nor do I plan to shoot heroin. But and I'm against shooting heroin. But you know what? If someone wants to shoot heroin, that's their right and their choice. I don't want to see commercials about it on TV. I don't want my future grandchildren or my kids to see commercials about it. And I think someone should be able to do with their body what they want to do. Until they endanger the life of someone else or the safety of someone else, I think they should be able to do with their body what they want to do. But this drug war, I think the only people that have gotten rich off of it is the federal government. And you've seen the drug war firsthand. I mean, you've been on the front lines with it.
My first 6 years in the military, I worked down in South America as a signal intelligence specialist, intercepting drug lords' communications and taking part in the so-called drug war. This was back in the 90s. And that's why I got out of it, because I'm like, we are causing more problems than we're fixing. And we are creating these violent people because they have to find ways around the law. And the only way to find ways around the law is violence. And when you've got such a limited when you've got a product that is so limited in how you get it in, you've got to get rid of your competition. Yeah. Because the more people that are out there doing this, if they're not doing it the right way, they're going to threaten your livelihood and get you in trouble. And so we've created that. And so I lasted 5 years, and then I went into counterterrorism instead and did that for the remaining time. But man, the drug war, it completely turned me. I saw that thing from the inside, saw how crappy it was, saw how it was creating more violence, creating more criminals, creating more destruction. And, if we just legalize the stuff and regulate it, think of all the tax money that would come, and I'm not a taxes guy, but I don't mind consumption taxes, because then you have a choice. Consumption taxes are voluntary taxes.
That's right.
So if you don't want to pay those taxes, then don't use the product.
Don't you? Exactly right. I am 100% on board with consumption tax. Absolutely.
And I just have to say, these wigs are very hot.
Dude, this whole back of this thing is sweat.
Yeah. If I take this off, I'm going to short circuit my microphone.
Yeah, take it off, man. I'm a champ. Since I'm the president of this chapter, I'm gonna bear it out, man. I'm gonna pass out I'm just gonna leave it on till I pass out.
What are the and we'll kind of close up with a few more questions about Proud Boys, because that's what I really wanted to get into. What are the biggest misconceptions of people? Let's start this way. The biggest misconceptions of people that want to join the Proud Boys. What do they think that we are?
Well, some of the biggest misconceptions are that we're racist and we're homophobic. I think those are.
No, I mean people that want to join us. Obviously, people don't want to join unless they want to join us because they think we're racist. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, I got you. Okay.
No, the people that are trying to join the Proud Boys, what are their misconceptions? For those that don't, like, for example, I'm going to join the Proud Boys because I just want to go kick people's asses.
Oh, good. That's perfect. So going back to the 372 emails that we received, so we are not the 3%ers. We are not. Let me say that again. We are not the 3%ers. We are not throwing on tactical vests and we're not Garrett Foster's going out to events and not pointing AK-47s in Daniel Perry's window and getting smoked with a 44. That we're not, no. We're not 3%ers and going out and doing that kind of stuff. Now, we are also, we're not militia. We don't do that. We are a men's drinking fraternity, and the drinking is a choice. You want to come hang out with us and you don't drink like CJ, we're not even going to bust your balls about it. I don't think anyone's ever busted your balls about it. I think you brought up,
but you know, no, they have a couple times, but that's the whole joy of being a Proud Boy, is having your balls busted.
Because we'll find something else to bust your balls about really fast.
I mean, the fact that I'm only 5'5", gosh, you've got plenty of like midget jokes.
Oh, dude, I mean, we can knee you in the nuts without even raising our knee. I mean, so that's all. That's perfect. So, I mean, I think that's, so let's just, a common theme from the emails that we received were, I'm ready to kill or kick communist asses. Where do I sign up? And either I wouldn't respond, or I just say, you've got the wrong idea and the wrong misconception. You got the misconception of the Proud Boys. I appreciate your time. Thanks for emailing. And then I'll just delete it. And a couple guys I'd hear back like, fuck you, you pussies or something. And that's okay. That's all right. I take nothing personal. I think that's why my wife sometimes gets pissed off at me. She's like, take it personal. I'm trying to insult you. I'm trying to make you mad. I'm like, no, I refuse. I've been through a divorce, so I'm okay. I've been insulted before, so I'm all right. I've been in the Army. I've had my ass chewed so many times. You can't, it's really hard to piss me off. So, another part is people think that we are really racist. Like, people come in and they're like, look, we need to secure our existence. And I'm just like, we are not that. And I send them the 15 points. Like, if you are any of these, you can go fuck off out to the trash bin. We are not that. We don't want any of that.
So where does that come from? Where does this idea that we're a white supremacist group come from? Especially considering that you've got a Black Arican as the chairman.
SPLC and the Anti-Defamation League. So that these guys, so when I really started putting zero credibility, so I've always put zero credibility into the SPLC. When they put someone like Chris Ann Hall on their extremist list,
she is the sweetest woman.
She's a constitutional attorney who believes in freedom for everybody.
That's it right there. The Constitution is
racist.
So if you support the Constitution, you're a white supremacist. Now it makes sense. It just
they believe in the Communist Manifesto that was written by an old dead white guy, but they believe in that, but yet the Constitution was written by, hang on, old dead white guys, and it's invalid. Wow, I don't know. I don't know how to comprehend that.
Wasn't the Communist Manifesto written by an old dead white guy?
Yeah. And, you know, Marx forever.
Marx, yeah.
So, but yet founding fathers, I don't. It's one of those quandaries that they back themselves into, and then when you try to get into like, hey, how do you explain that? They just block you. They block you on Instagram or something.
Yeah.
You know, and then
just trying to get anyone to give any examples of how the Proud Boys are white supremacists. And if you actually read objectively the SPLC's website, heck, if you even read the Wikipedia page about Proud Boys that talks about white supremacists, there's still no evidence there. It's just a claim, and they essentially just link back to each other.
Right.
Wikipedia says so because SPLC says whatever they are. SPLC,
well, yeah, KCEN 6. I mean, so the other day, if people haven't seen the link to it, KCEN 6. Central Texas Proud Boys, we went to the Bell County Justice Center, where Marvin Guy has been in jail for 6.5 years on a botched no-knock raid, something that CJ and I and a few others from Central Texas have followed quite extensively. We showed up out there, and the Guy family showed up out there, and they were not expecting us, because we usually don't announce when we're going to show up somewhere. So we showed up out there in our scary Proud Boy regalia, and the Marvin Guy's brother came up to me and he said, you guys actual Proud Boys? And I said, yeah, the scary kind, and he goes, like, oh, that's cool. What are you guys doing here? I said, well, we've been following this for the past couple of years, and who are you? And he goes, well, I'm Marvin's brother. I said, your brother got totally fucked, and we stand by him, because if people think that this can't happen to them, they're clearly mistaken, because the police don't care what color, how tall you are, how short you are. They don't care. It's all about power to them, and they've thrown Marvin in a cage, and the longer they can keep him there, the quicker and the longer the public forgets about him. And that the time's got to change. It's got to change about that. He's got to get out of there to be able to fight his case. But first we got to get that bond reduced, and then get someone to get him a bond.
So for those of y'all that don't know what's going on with Marvin Guy, 6 years ago in some odd months, it was May, wasn't it?
May 9th, 2014.
May 9th, 2014, a man sleeping in bed with his woman, a window breaks, and someone starts beating down the door. What's the first thing you're going to do at 5 o'clock in the morning? Is you're going to start shooting whoever it is breaking into your house. So that's what Marvin did. He defended himself. He ended up killing one cop and injuring, I think, 2 or 3 others. As soon as he realized they were law enforcement, he drops his gun and gets on the ground. As soon as they identified themselves.
They say he killed a cop, but they were shooting from the front and they were shooting from the back.
So there's a possibility that they shot each other.
Right. And right before the raid kicked off, a rookie cop pulled the pin on a flashbang and slipped on wet grass and landed on it and exploded on him. So, that should have been a sign right there that, hey, you know what? Maybe we should recalibrate this. And you know what? How dare a municipal court judge sign off on a warrant like that?
Yeah.
A traffic court judge that does traffic court shit, a municipal court judge signing off on something so serious. Number one, no-knock raids should be done unless there is a 0.1% chance that you will need a no-knock raid. Right. And that is only when someone's life is in imminent danger. Yeah,
that's the only time.
Terrorism,
yes.
Which doesn't happen. You will be killed by a cop before you get killed by a terrorist.
Yes, 7 times.
Yes.
You'll get killed 7 times before a terrorist kills you.
And if you're a cat, you'll still be alive.
Yes. And so essentially what you've got is just thinking like a liberal here, you've got a white supremacist organization going to a protest that supports a black man that killed a white cop.
Yep.
That makes perfect sense.
Right. Because we don't see color. We see freedom. We see constitutional rights, and we see someone thrown in a cage. And we're such white supremacists, and I'm so terrible at it that I actually give money to Marvin Guy too, out of my own pocket. And I think your fascist ass has done it too.
I have too.
So we're so terrible at this. We need to read that handbook again, that secret handbook I gave to you.
Okay, so there's the white supremacist part, and I asked you about what were the misconceptions of people wanting to join, and what would you say? Well, I guess we've already covered the misconceptions of the rest of society. I don't know what is it that you like the most about the Proud Boys, and what is it that maybe kind of grates on you a little bit?
You know what I like the most is that we can get any Proud Boy can get together from, say there's someone coming in that a Proud Boy truck driver's coming in from Washington and he's going to be down in this area. He's got a place to stay when he comes down here. It is truly that brotherhood mentality played out in real life. He's got a place to stay. He can crash on the couch. Someone's always going to have somewhere for him to sleep and a meal for him to eat. Someone's always going to welcome him. And if, for instance, when my wife had an emergency and had to go out of state, assistance was offered. She didn't have to use it, but it was offered. And just knowing that offer was there is just, it brings tears to your eyes just knowing that it's there. If it's like her dad didn't have an extra bed, well, they're like, oh, dude, that's easy. just if she needs a bed, man, we'll go buy one and take it to her dad's house. It's not a big deal. I mean, just let me know. Let me know, and it'll be there. Don't worry about it. We'll bring it there, set it up. I mean, it's that kind of stuff. And they don't know me. They've never met me. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's that awesome that, and even in the military, people have this misconception about veterans that they're all honorable. I've met some really shitty veterans.
Oh yeah.
That will put on their uniform to go get a discount somewhere just to be shitheads, just to get 10% off Golden Corral buffet. Now, these guys, we wear our uniforms and people want to call us Nazis, but they'll wear this stuff everywhere and they'll go help someone. They'll help someone change a tire on the side of the road. They'll be the ultimate good Samaritan. You know, I'll wear my stuff. I'll wear my hoodie like what you're wearing. I'll wear my hoodie that I bought. I'll wear that out. And it starts a conversation. Exactly. It starts a conversation. Man, you're a Proud Boy? Absolutely. Man, I heard a lot of stuff about you guys. Really? Let me dispel it right now.
Yeah.
You know? let me, hey, do you want to hear about it? Because I won't waste my time talking about it unless they want to hear it. And I'll let them ask questions, you know, and then I can, hey, we've got gay members, we got Black members, we got Native Americans. I mean, it's almost becomes nauseating telling people, it's like, look, you want to come hang out and have a beer? I mean, we can do that too. And you can just feel the love from us and you don't have to join us. You could just come hang out. That's fine.
Well, and that's all those things are exactly what I like. I like about the fact that, you know, we clean cemeteries, we've fed the homeless. There's just so much that people don't know because we don't grab the media and tell them, hey, come here. We want to show you something that we do good. We just do it. We just do it.
The two guys that are in jail in New York for 4 years. We're doing our charity now for his family and his 3 kids. You know, we don't advertise that. You know, this is the chance I get to say something like that. Justiceforliberty.com. If people want to give money to John Kinsman's kids, you can go to justiceforliberty.com and give $5. Give $1.
Explain why they're in jail real quick.
So I think it was October 2018 or I think it might have been.
Has it been over a year?
He's been really in jail for over a year. Yeah. So Max Hare and John Kinsman.
Wait. So 2019 then, right?
No, they were convicted mid last year, I believe.
Okay.
So, it took like 8 months for a victim to not come forward, but
gotcha.
But for Cuomo and de Blasio to be the victim to actually prosecute him, because Antifa wouldn't come forward because they were afraid to get doxxed. So back up here, Gavin McInnes did a Japanese socialist death reenactment, something Hirosho something, at the Lower Manhattan Republican Club. The night before, Antifa vandalized the building, spray painted like swastikas and hammer sickles on it. Go away, fuck off Republicans and all this stuff, thinking they were going to scare the Republicans from having the Proud Boys there for the event. Well, they didn't scare the Republicans. They're New York Republicans. They're pretty tough. So they still had the event. They fixed the glass and everything, had the Proud Boys do it. They did the reenactment of the socialist getting a saber through his gut and dying on stage. And Gavin did a big speech. And as the Proud Boys were leaving, the police escorted them out to the left, and they were walking to their cars. And when they took a left, there were some Antifa that were midway down on the block, and there just happened to be some security cameras in an alley. And they took little bottles of Ciroc. They drank the Ciroc or poured it out, I don't know. But they filled them with piss, and they threw them at the Proud Boys walking down the sidewalk. Well, John Kinsman and Max Hare ran after them after they threw the bottles, and the Antifa dudes started kicking them and punching them. Well, John Kinsman, he's like me. He's a big dude, but he had a much more awesome beard than me. And he grabbed this one dude and he just beat the ever-loving hell out of this dude. And mind you, I've never smoked a cigarette in my life, but his cigarette never came out of his mouth. And he's just hammering this dude on the head. And
this dude that threw piss at him.
And he hit him probably 5 or 6 times. He got up and he kicked him once in the back, and then he walked away. Well, this lady named Sandy Bauckham, who is an independent journalist, the court only used her video to prosecute these guys. Now, she said she got PTSD from this event. She's a hack bitch, is who she is. Gavin called her the see you next Tuesday. That word. So she is a total just a hack. She said she actually fought Nazis in Charlottesville. So if she was in Charlottesville, why is she not a white supremacist?
Yeah, what was she doing there?
Right, with her wrinkled ass 75-year-old skin, prune ass bitch. So she's there, and there's apparently like 45 seconds of film in total. So the cops come up and they ask the Antifa dudes who just got the ever-loving shit kicked out of them, who initiated the fight, mind you, and the Proud Boys finished it. They said, "Do you want to press charges?" They told the cops, and I quote, "Go fuck yourself. Roger, we're going to go fuck ourselves. So we're out of here." So the cops left. They left out of there, and the Proud Boys walked around. They said, "We're not going home yet. We're going to go get a beer. We're going to celebrate." So they celebrated. And the next day, Cuomo and de Blasio said, "Yeah, we're not going to let this go. It was 2018, as a matter of fact, because the elections were getting ready to come up, the midterm elections."
Okay.
They said, "We need to make an example out of this. Fuck those guys. We're going to prosecute them." So they prosecuted them. And they sent him to jail, gave him 4 years.
So
and
what was that website?
Justice for the number 4 liberty.com.
Okay.
Now, this is something you're going to be really shocked at because we're such terrible, shitty white supremacists. John Kinsman's kids are black. His wife's black. They're half black. So John Kinsman is a Democrat. He's a union iron worker. So we're such terrible white supremacists that we have Democrats, we have liberals. My God, we have Bernie Sanders supporters that are in the Syntax chapter that have converted over to be Trump supporters. I mean, to say that we're all, to even say we're right wing is just stupid. I've asked KCN, if KCN happens to be watching this, you guys are frauds and you guys are liars. You were supposed to call me today for a correction on that story, and you never called me today. You said we were far-right extremists, and you based it on the first presidential debate this year. And you said you wanted a correction. Whatever Crystal or whatever your name is, the news chief, you lied to me. You said you tried to talk to somebody out there at the Marvin Guy thing. Nobody ever came up and tried to talk to any of the 5 of us that were out there. You lied. You're a liar. You're just like the mainstream media. You're a hack. And I hope, I hope eventually I might send her a link to this in an email later tonight. She's a hack. She's a liar, and she's local too.
Call him out, man. Call him out,
dude. And Cole Johnson was the journalist out there. He never once came around and said, "Hey, do you want to say something?" Because I would have said something to him. Because if he said we're extremists, I just want to ask a one-word question: how?
Yeah, how?
What is he seen? Just like Hiram from Austin, when we were at the Women's March the other day, it was actually a March for Trump event. He said, "Well, Proud Boys, you guys are pretty violent." And I said, "Hiram, you're full of shit. When have Proud Boys ever attacked you?" And he said, "Well, I don't know." I said, "You can't say, because we've never attacked anybody. Now, BLM's put you in the hospital, and you know what happened the next day? BLM and the Mike Ramos Brigade put him in the hospital. They attacked him in Austin. They beat the shit out of him and took his camera. Maybe he needs us for protection. Maybe we need to go get like a security license or something to protect these pussies."
Well, it never ceases to amaze me how, and here's why we're far right. I figured it out, because the media and the left are so far left that if you're even on the edge of being right, you're far right. I mean, even if you're right there in the center, you're far right, only because the left is so far away that anyone that doesn't think like them is so far the opposite.
Yeah, I'm homophobic because I have a dick. You know, that's you know, it's one of those things that you can't, if you try to argue with them, you're done. You're just done. So it's like when Antifa says Nazi, racist, fascist, baby killers, I just start dancing. I'm like, come on, dude, that's all you got.
You need to put a beat to it.
Yeah, that's all you got, man. Yeah, so
all right.
I don't know. That's but yeah, we're we want freedom for everybody.
Yes.
Well, and I want someone to prove to me that commies are human, because I'm still not convinced yet. But and obviously that's tongue in cheek, but they really try their damnedest to prove to me that they aren't human. We actually want freedom for everybody. It's not that hard to understand. It's really not that difficult. They just really tried hard to be shitheads, and they're doing a really good job of it.
Well, I'll say, and I'll close with this because I had a tooth extracted today, and I need to go take another Vicodin. And the last thing I need to be doing is a live cast while I'm on Vicodin.
Oh shit!
So, but I will say, especially if Antifa's watching, if you really want the Proud Boys to go away, you need to go away, because as you said, we don't initiate violence, but we are perfectly willing to end it.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing. Are we violent people? No, but we can be violent. And that's in response to violence. And so I look forward to the day when the Proud Boys can go back to just being a raunchy drinking club for men, and we don't have to worry about protecting our communities and defending people who don't think like the left wants them to think, and showing up at the Capitol and to make sure that a conservative event is able to go off without being attacked by these Antifa people. So it's very simple, Antifa. If you want us to go away, just stop.
Yeah, call your own people out like we call out people on the right. Like, hey, don't do that. They never do that. We'll cease our guys if we see some nefarious shit going on, which is rare, but we will do it. They don't do it on their side because they see it as an opportunity to attack. So they see that as always as a good thing, where that's where we'll always conflict. We don't see violence as a good thing ever on the initiating side. It's never good.
It's never good.
No.
No one should ever initiate violence, but by golly, I am more than willing to stop it.
Yeah. Jealously and unabashedly exuberant with it. For sure. To get it to stop, I will use it in abundance to get it to stop.
Well, Mr. Thomas Paine, you can go to his YouTube channel. It's Proud of Your Freedom. So just check out Proud of Your Freedom here on YouTube and check him out and follow him. And I'm going to do several of these every now and then when I have some time. Obviously in law school, I don't have much time, and I wanted to make sure this microphone worked and kind of figure out this new system. But I'm going to be doing little interviews like this as well. And then also start talking about some legal issues that I think people should know about as far as knowing your rights. I'm also going to be working when I get back, by the way, in Temple. I'm going to be holding a Know Your Rights seminar. And I've asked actually Patrick, you remember Patrick? Yeah. I've actually asked him to get with the community down there and find me a date and a place. And I'll handle the training. You just handle all the other coordination, because I can't do that from here. Yeah. And I'm going to educate people on how to handle interactions with law enforcement, what your rights are, what their responsibilities and their limitations are, and really just how to maintain and preserve your liberty, and also preserve, in case that your rights are violated, how to preserve those rights so that you can use them in a lawsuit and overcome qualified immunity, because that's another thing besides no-knock raids that needs to go away, is qualified immunity. And there are ways around that. There are ways that you can handle yourself during a police encounter that will negate any claims of qualified immunity. And that's what I'm going to be teaching on sometime in December, I think, is when I'm going to be doing that. And I'm going to stick to the.
Philip Turner does it great too. So whenever he refuses to ID, he just sits in the front seat. He may be handcuffed, and they threaten him that we're going to run you. We're going to run your fingerprints, and he just sits there, just looks at them, and after about 20 minutes, uncuff and get out of here. I like the James Duane theory and the Pot Brothers. So
the Pot Brothers. I was just about to say that.
Shut the fuck up. And James Duane is, you have the right to remain innocent. And if people, if everybody has $5 at some time during the month, you have the right to remain innocent. is a must
On
have
Amazon.
book.
Yeah.
And,
It's a short book.
If you don't have time to read, which I think CJ doesn't have a lot of time for leisure reading, audio book is fantastic. And you can even find, I've found on YouTube segments of that entire book for free. And he talks extremely fast. I talk fast, but he talks even faster.
Yeah.
And he is great.
Absolutely. Yeah. The Rights Remain Innocent, James Duane, and then
The Pot Brothers.
the Pot Brothers. Check them out on YouTube.
Shut the fuck up.
That's right. What do you do? That's right.
Shut the
All right.
fuck up.
Hey,
All
thank
right.
y'all. Thank you, Thomas, for being on the show on the channel. I don't really have a show.
Yeah.
For those of you that were here kind of coming and going, I know we had a few coming and going. Thank you for being out there. As always, stay safe and stay free. See you later.
Brother.
Next time.
Later.